Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to introduce many different twists and turns as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be, well, a revelation film. It's going to have a lot of surprises inserted into the movie by JJ and exactly what he wants to do to make us look back at the past 8 Star Wars films in a different light. And on top of all this, we do know that this movie is going to truly be the darkest Star Wars film in the Skywalker saga's history. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are facing Palpatine inside of a strange room, where it's explained that during the scene, Kylo Ren begins to fight Palpatine in the sequence, where it said that Kylo is clashing his crossguard lightsaber with Palpatine's single-bladed red lightsaber. The sequence is said to be very intense between Kylo and Sidious, where it eventually leads to a moment in which Sidious transfers his spirit into Kylo Ren, where Kylo begins to age rapidly and gain yellow Sith eyes. This is where Kylo is said to fight Rey in the middle of this strange environment, where Kylo has the upper hand against Rey, and even uses red Force lightning against her. The red Force lightning is said to be because of how powerful Sidious is, while he takes control of a young body of Kylo's. Now, the red Force lightning is actually said to be blocked by Rey's lightsaber, where she tries to deflect the lightning back at Sidious/Kylo, in which she is eventually successful in doing so, where she is actually said to allow Kylo Ren/Sidious to crash into a piece of wreckage. Now, this is where it's said that Kylo begins to tell Rey ancient Sith code. However, he does not do this as Kylo, but as Palpatine. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to be a movie that's going to introduce new mediums of the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen. And a lot of that has all to do with the concept of resurrection, possession, the netherworld, the wills, you name it. JJ and George Lucas are really adding in new material to, of course, The Rise of Skywalker to introduce new Star Wars lore that fans have never seen before in the Skywalker saga, let alone a live-action Star Wars movie at that. The one thing that I want to go over is the red Force lightning, something that we have not seen in canon, of course, since the Sun in, of course, the Clone Wars. And what I love so much about this, I will say, is that in the Clone Wars, the Sun was able to use red Force lightning. Now, of course, we have Kylo Ren using Force lightning because the spirit of Sidious takes over his body at a certain point in time in the film. Now, with that being said, Rey is able to block that Force lightning in a very similar way to what Mace Windu did against Sidious in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Once again, you can see the parallels. You can see that J.J. Abrams is paying attention to the prequels and what kind of parallels and mirrors he could really throw in there into The Rise of Skywalker that would truly stay true to George Lucas and the concept of Star Wars. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Now, the other thing that I do want to go over that also intrigues me is how, once the spirit of Sidious enters into Kylo Ren's body, it's said that it ages him rapidly where he gains yellow Sith eyes. Now, this alludes to the vision that Kylo Ren sees earlier on in the film in the second act, where he does indeed see himself as an older Sith Lord, and now you can see how it makes a lot of sense. It seems like that's going to be a little piece of foreshadowing of what's set to happen between both Sidious and, of course, Kylo Ren at the very end of Episode 9 inside of this strange environment. Now, we're still not quite sure what this strange environment really is. It could be the actual Death Star 2 wreckage. It could also be Sidious and his new throne room, which, by the way, is said to be based off of Ralph McQuarrie's concept art for Return of the Jedi. Now, looking past all of this, we do know that Episode 9 is going to be a movie that's going to focus primarily on Palpatine. Palpatine really is the core of this story, and Kylo Ren searching for Palpatine is also going to be a part of this story as well, of the Wayfinder device. I don't know if you guys actually heard about this, but this device is actually said to have hyperspace routes to the unknown regions that's going to lead Kylo Ren over to Palpatine at a certain point in time in Episode 9. So, moving on with all of this, Rey as a character is going up against Kylo, who is now possessed as, of course, Sidious, where Sidious takes control of Kylo's body. It does in fact explain as to why Sidious was watching over Kylo Ren for so very long, and how J.J. Abrams really wants to introduce a lot of Legends material into the current canon. In Legends, Palpatine even threatened Luke to take over his body and rule the galaxy as one, and now you can see that they're doing something very similar in a sense between both, of course, Kylo Ren and Darth Sidious. So on top of all this, guys, I would really love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.